This can't be happening. I've been on the carnivore diet for 6 months now, and in that time I've lost 34 pounds and gained muscle. But something has happened recently that we need to talk about. In the last week or so, something terrible has happened. I've started putting on weight. Now I'm dramatizing it a bit, and I think there are good reasons for what's happening. And I think there's an important lesson or two in here for anyone who's on the carnivore or keto diets. So first, we'll take a look at the fluctuations in my weight since I started the carnivore diet, and then we'll talk about what's potentially happening. Let's do it. So right now I'm logged into my calendar, and I've been using this calendar to track my progress since I started the diet. Alright, so if you've been around my channel for any length of time, you'll have heard me talk about how the beginning of June this year is when I saw the doctor and I started to, or I realized that it was time to do something about this, right? And so we can see here on June 3, that's when I saw the doctor. And from then I just started filling out, I didn't even weigh myself at the start, but I started filling out, no beer, no junk, no beer, no junk. And, it took me a little while to realize that it'd probably be easier if I was giving up beer and junk, that it would take me less time to actually write down when I had beer and junk rather than no beer and junk. But it acted as a little bit of motivation. Anyway, so June 3 is when I saw the doctor, and he said, bad news on many fronts for you. You need to do something about this. And so I decided, okay, that's it. And I didn't go strict carnivore straight away. I didn't even really realize about carnivore at the time, but I knew about low carb, I knew about keto, so that's what I did. All right, so I started on June 3. And the first time I actually weighed myself was a few days later. It was on Tuesday the 7th, and the weight was 79.7 kilos, all right? And now in pounds, 79.7 kilos is 79.7 times 2.2. So whenever we want to work this out, we always do times 2.2 to get the pounds. So it was about 175 pounds at the time, all right, which was way too overweight for my height and body type and all that kind of thing, right? So it was way too overweight. So, but and potentially when I started, I was about a kilo or two heavier than that too. But anyway, the weight started to come off. You can see 79, 78, 78.4.2, down to 77. So, losing a kilo, about 2 kilos in less than a week. That's about 4.5 pounds. All right, so that's pretty good. So if we go down, we go through July, you see I'm keeping up the no beer, no junk thing. At this point, I've already started OMAD, right? I started OMAD, I guess, about a week and a half in. Okay, that was the Sunday. I guess that was the Sunday when I had only eggs at lunchtime, and then felt like, oh, I don't need to eat more than once a day. And so we're down here. So we've gone from 79 in about 4 or 5 weeks. We've gone from 79.7 to 72.6. All right, so that's the loss of about 7 kilos. That's about 16 pounds. So let's keep going. All right, then we're 2 months in, and I've lost 10 kilos, so that's 22 pounds down, okay? And I'm still keeping a record of everything. I'm still keeping a record of the fact I'm not having beer or junk, all right? And it was around mid-July that I thought, okay, well, I don't really need to write this every single day, so I'm just tracking the weight from this point. All right, so we're now down to about, 3 months in, and I'm down about 12 kilos, I guess. So 12 kilos, and that works out about 26 pounds, I guess. All right, October, down even more, so I'm down to 64.5 kilos. All right, and round about 64 point something. That's about the lowest I've got, I think. I don't think I've been below 64. All right, so from 79.7 to about 64.5 kilos. And so where are we now? We are now in December, and you'll notice what happened. Once I've hit that 64 kilos, I've kind of hovered around 64, 65 for a while. But recently what I've started doing is I've gone to 66, back to 65, but then 66, 66, 66, and I haven't, it's dipped down a little bit, but I basically haven't been under 66 for a long time. It's gone to 65, but we're back to 60. Where are we? Hang on. Okay, so it's still hovering 66, 66, 67. All right, and I'm writing it less because as it's going up, I'm feeling less motivated. But why is this going up? And so I was having a think about this, and I think there's an important lesson in here, or a lesson or two in here, for anyone who happens to be doing keto or carnivore, especially if you just started, right? And part of the reason I think I am increasing is because I'm not losing, I don't think I'm losing weight anymore, but I think I am putting on a little bit of muscle. Okay, I think naturally I'm putting on a little bit of muscle as I do more exercise, and the exercise is probably done with a bit more vigor than it has been, 6 months ago or something like that. So I think muscle is one of the things. The other thing is that over the last couple of weeks, my eating pattern has changed slightly. What I've done is I've reduced the amount of protein I'm eating, and I've increased the amount of fat I'm eating. So I'm replacing a few eggs with butter. And I think what is probably happening is my body is adjusting to that change, and potentially what it's doing is, it's retaining something that it wouldn't have been retaining otherwise before, because it was used to the diet I was doing. So I think just with the change of diet, things change. And because I've changed my diet, something's happened inside my body. And for that reason, it's not, decreased as much. It's not as low as it had been. So there's that. The other thing is, in the last month, I've been a little bit more concerned about adding salt to my diet, and I'm making sure that I add salt to the water that I have certainly in the mornings. And I think that the fact that I'm adding salt probably means I'm retaining a little bit more water inside my body, and I guess from the fat too, I'm probably retaining a little bit more water in my body. So there's all those kind of things. And so I think one of the things that we can probably take from this is that there's a lot of factors contributing to that kind of couple of pounds here and there. And I think it's important to realize that this situation is going to be nuanced for everyone. So based on the kind of food that you're eating, based on the food that you're combining, based on how much salt you've consumed that day, based on all these different factors, you're going to, be changing the way your body reacts. And so if you're not losing weight, one of the important things to consider is just what can you change? What can you change about your diet, or what kind of small adjustment can you make to perhaps change the process? So basically, I think I've mentioned this before, we should probably be treating our bodies in a little bit of a experimental way, or a kind of a debugging kind of way. And if we're not happy with the results that we're getting right now, make a change. Just try one simple change. Just change one thing. Make that change, keep that change in place for a week or 2 weeks, and see what happens. Do you put weight on? Do you stay the same? Do you lose a little bit of weight? And it's through this constant just checking and changing things around that you're going to find the perfect way to get your body exactly the way you want it. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Please don't forget to click like and subscribe, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video.